welcome back. It's Christmas Eve day, and there's actually a little lull in the action here at my house. Um, our family is coming for the holidays this evening, and then again tomorrow for a Christmas Day dinner and opening gifts and all that sort of thing. But I wanted to take a minute to jump on and film this um, and share with you what I've been working on for the past couple of weeks. And granted, my weekends in December have been pretty busy, I'm sure, like most people, with shopping and decorating the house and running all those extra errands. But I finally, this morning, actually finished up some primitive style tags and some shabby, I guess, kind of shabby style cupcake liner Christmas trees. So I want to share those. And I'm going to start with the tags. Here's the first one. Okay, and these are kind of in the primitive style. I didn't do a lot of distressing on this one. I just like the white, the pure white with the gingham check and the beautiful watercolors. So with this one, I used the stamp I've had in my stash for quite a while, and it's really, really cute. It's a little Santa Claus stuffed doll, and she's holding a little stuffed snowman in her hand and a sprig of pine boughs. She's just so cute with her Santa outfit. So I stamped and embossed the image, and then I used an assortment of different paints. This particular one I used the Prang watercolor set that I have. And these colors are nice and true and really quite reliable for the price. I mean, they're fairly inexpensive to purchase. And the colors are quite nice. So I used that to do the watercoloring on the image. You can kind of see there how that looks. And then I actually had stamped the image and die cut it on watercolor paper, which is what you see as the background right here. And then I put it on a red and blue gingham checked cardstock, and I added a foam candy cane here with a button and a little twine, and as well as up here. And then the top is an assortment of coordinating ribbons that you can see. And then I just tied it with a couple of little bells and some twine right there. Reinforce the hole with a white reinforcement. Yeah, I really like that. And then I used this is I think I have this stamp set right here handy to show you. And I love this. It kind of has that Ray Dunn look to it, the font. And I use this one a lot. I really love this set. And this is from Paper Sweeties. I've had this for a couple years. So I used that to create the sentiment on the tag. So that's the first one. And then the next one I did as a card. This is a card front here. It's just done on a craft paper, pre-folded card. And I used a Christmas plaid cardstock paper, a couple of stickers, and some little holly stickers as well. Here's the sentiment. And then this one is also, this image is also stamped and embossed, and then I colored it in with the watercolor paints. Now this one, I'm trying to remember, I think I used, did I use the metallics on this one? I may have. So let me show you this set. This is metallic watercolor paint. Magic Fly, I think is the brand name here. And I ordered this one online, and I love it. These are really pretty metallic watercolors. Very, very lovely. And it comes with a nice card that you can fill in, one in black and one in white, so that you can see the color samples, and you can see how shiny they are. And then one that you can do with the black. Let me open this one up as well, just so you can see. Oh, I didn't fill this one in yet. I haven't used this in a while. Anyway, so these are nice to have as reference. And you know, now that I'm looking at this closer, I don't think that this was the card that I used this metallic set on. But the one of the next ones that I'm going to show you does have these metallic paints, so we will get to that in just a second. But I love this metallic set very much. And the pan is really nice when you open it up. It has a couple of places for mixing. And this closes right up on top, and you can even keep your color sample cards right inside there. Okay, so there's that set. Yeah, I guess I did use the prang set for that card that I just showed you, this one here. Okay, so these two, so we've got the blue and the red. And then the next one I did, okay, this one is also a card. I did this on a pink card base. And then it has sort of a sagey green check cardstock background. Again, these were stamped on watercolor paper. And then this particular card, let's see, I used the Vintage Pastels by Prima watercolor set. This is what it looks like. Okay, and similar to the Magic Fly set, it has a little card inside. These are all very pastel-y. Okay. Oh, are these metallic or non-metallic? Let me see. No, it doesn't say metallic, so these are basic, just a pastel set. And I love them. They're really, really pretty and softly colored. Okay, so that's set there. And then I just added some die cut. I cut out some pine cones and, pine sprigs or spruce sprigs and glued those on. And then I added a little bit of rustic twine and a vintage button. And same thing over here. It has some holly berries and a bow with a vintage button. And again, the sentiments. And then I just went through and used some Nouveau drops to decorate in the pink. So I love this. This is probably my favorite color combination. It's very soft and pretty. Okay, so there's that one. And then I did a larger tag with the final one. And this is using the Magic Fly metallic paints on the stuffed Santa doll image. And you can see it's a little sparkly. I also added over the top of this one, I put, oh, here it is. I had a pump spray bottle of Heidi Swapp Gold spray paint, so I just glittered it up with that. You can kind of see that over the surface with the gold. Then I added a cardstock glitter star and a vintage button with some crochet cotton on it, some sparkly bells, and then the top is just some torn muslin, some vintage off-white rickrack, a little bit of pale mint seam binding to pick up the mint in her costume. Yeah, I love this one. This is, again, one of my favorites. And then I used some tea-dyed lace that I had in my stash. And the sentiment again. So pretty. This is kind of a shabby chic primitive, I guess you might say. And I did this one on a barn board. It was sort of like a reddish barn board cardstock, and then I did some zigzag stitching. I don't know if you can see that with the camera, but I zigzagged around it and then mounted the base, the mint colored base on top of it with the watercolor card over that. So I really love this one. It's so pretty. This one I can almost see hanging on a pretty Christmas tree. Here's the back side. Oh, I guess that's a Prima paper from one of the Prima collections, with the barn board on the reverse. Okay, so those are my cards and tags. And then I wanted to create some little cupcake liner trees. And I've done this in years past, but this year I pulled them out again. I haven't done them in a while. And I just wanted to play around and see what I could come up with. So I took the smaller size cupcake liners, these here, and then I also had some in the kind of white and pink pattern as well. And I folded them up, glued them together, and then I added some, like this one has a bow at the top, and I put some gems on it. And then I spritzed this also with the gold spray paint, right here, the Heidi Swapp that I had in my stash. This one has white spray paint over the surface. I don't really know that that's going to show up very well. It's difficult to see. But this is what I used for that. And this is in the white. Color Shine, it's called. Okay. And a little bit of white lace and then some gems on the surface. And let's see, there's a couple others over here. This one has the silver spray on it with a little vintage pearl button at the top. You can see that there. And then I use some of that Dollar Tree bling that comes in strips, and I just, glued that to the base of each branch area. And used the silver. This is a Recollections spray ink in silver, and I just spritzed that over the top of this one. But these are just so charming, and I think they'd be beautiful on the front of a card, or as part of a tag. They'd be lovely on a tag or in an album, or even a vintage shabby chic kind of a Christmas album. Would they be pretty? So I haven't quite decided yet how I'm going to use them, but I'm glad that they're in my stash and I can access them whenever I need them when I'm creating. They're already made up. And I wanted to show you my technique for folding and attaching these together, because there are some videos that I've seen online where they're all folded exactly the same, and the trees tend to look a little bit stiff. But I think with this method, they end up looking a little more natural, because the flare on the bottom is wider than the flare on the top. So I'm going to show you how I created that. So what you want to do is take your cupcake liner. Let's make a little room here. And I like to just lay it out on the table and just rub my finger around it a little bit to flatten it just a bit. Okay. So for my top of the tree, okay, I start by, after I flatten it a little bit, I fold it in half, line up your edges, fold it in half, and then I find my center point. Just put a little crease there with your fingers, and here's my center fold right here. So what I want to do now is that when I fold this up, I'm going to overlap slightly over. So I'm going to fold this right side slightly over the center fold. So it goes a little bit further. And then the same thing on this side. I'm going to overlap them slightly. So you're kind of overlapping. I don't know if you can see that. See, there's the fold line here, and then you overlap slightly. There we go. Okay, and then I add a little bit of glue, hot glue, in between there just to hold that together. So that will become my top, all right? And then the second one, for the middle pair of branches, again, same thing. You want to flatten this just a bit so that you can work with it. Okay, fold it in half first. Okay, find your midpoint, your center point. We'll just put a little crease there so you know, up near the top. And then when you open this up, see, there's my center point right here, the fold. Now I'm going to fold each edge so that they don't overlap, but they butt right up against each other in the center. So you can see that is not overlapping, they're just meeting in the center. So this will become, you glue it down, and then this will become my middle branch. Okay, so that one's going to go in here. Get a little hot glue and glue that in. Okay, and then for the bottom one, take one more, slightly flatten it, okay, fold it up, and for this one, find the center point, just put a little crease near the top so that you can get a visual. So there's my center crease. I'm going to only fold this slightly. It's not going to meet in the middle at all. I'm just going to fold this in a little ways. Okay, so hopefully you can see how this one is folded. So they're not meeting in the center at all. They're not overlapping. They're slightly offset towards the side. So this bottom branch is going to be wider. Okay, and then my middle branch, this is the one that meets in the center on the back side. I'm going to glue this inside. Okay, so now I've got my bottom slightly wider than my middle branch, and then my top branch, which overlaps on the back side, is narrower than the other two. That one's going to go on the top. So you just glue those together, whatever way that suits you. Okay, and then your tree will look so much more like a tree, like a Christmas tree, I think. Okay, then rather than folding them all the same way. And there's the final result. So if you haven't tried these beautiful little cupcake liner trees, give it a try. And if you have tried it and you want to, have your trees look a little bit more like that style. You can try that technique and see what you think. So that is my share for today. I hope that you all have a wonderful holiday if you do celebrate at this time of the year, and that you are finding joy and peace in the season. And I will see you back again really soon with some more project shares. Take care. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.